I think everyone could really benefit from having a home server or even just a NAS for storing important files, having a private media server, or hosting your own containers for ad blockers and VPNs. So I went on a mission to try and build a custom DIY home server for less than £300, and yes, that does include the storage. This server is the perfect stomping ground for anyone who wants to start building a home server but still wants to have a lot of room for growth over time. Arguably, the most important part of your home server is going to be the CPU. Now, this isn't a gaming PC. We don't need access to overclocking or insane single core performance, but the more cores the better to support all of the services you'll be running. And the CPU I've picked is this Ryzen 7 3700X. This was released back in 2019, but it still has a lot of life left in it. It has 8 cores and 16 threads with a TDP of only 65 watts. It has support for virtualization and all of the modern day security checkmarks that you would want. I was able to purchase this CPU from eBay for only £50. The only downside to this CPU is it doesn't officially support ECC memory, which is just a special server style memory that is error checking and totally crucial in mission critical servers. However, it can work with ECC unbuffered memory if the motherboard also supports it. This unofficial support relies on the motherboard manufacturer to implement the feature, but I'm not planning on running it for this server anyways. For the motherboard, I personally picked up this B550 from eBay and I managed to grab this for £60, since the port for the front IO is broken, but since this is just going to be a home server, I won't be needing this at all. I like this board over the others because it has a lot of great features for the price. We've got 4 DIMM slots for easy RAM upgrades in the future and 6 SATA ports on the board itself, so you can have a ton of drives in the future without any add-on cards necessary. Now, this CPU does support DDR4 memory, but we don't need any super fast clock speeds or anything, so just 16 gigs of RAM is going to be enough to get you started. But I had this old 32 gig stick of SODIMM RAM lying around, which I could just grab an adapter on eBay for £6 for, meaning this would give me 48 gigabytes of RAM in total. If you eventually find yourself doing tons of virtualization in the future or maxing out your storage on a ZFS pool, feel free to add more for your use case. Oh, and these 2 sticks cost me £22 on eBay. Our processor isn't going to be running super hot, so most air coolers would work out no problem. If you have the generic Ryzen one laying around, feel free to use this, as that's what I'm going to be going with since I already have one. Now, unfortunately for the case, we don't really have a lot of options. The problem is that most home servers want to have as much room for 3.5-inch hard drives to use as their network attached storage, but most modern cases only have between 0 and 2 slots for hard drives, which technically would be fine for today, but I wanted to find a case that allows for more expansion over time. The tried and true is this Fractal design Define R5, which is a simple, no-nonsense case that has room for like 10 hard drives out of the box if you use the top 5.25-inch drive bays. It will run you around £100 on eBay right now, but I got mine a few months ago at an eBay auction for just £42. It's kind of expensive for what it is, so feel free to browse your local Facebook marketplace and see if anyone's throwing out their old PC cases, and just try to pick one up for cheap, but remember it needs to have a ton of room for drives. Okay, time for the power supply. There are tons and tons of lists online for the most efficient power supplies out there, but they all tend to run a little more expensive, so we'll just go with what we have. This 500 watt XFX unit that I have to hand will work fine for this because we don't have a graphics card in here, so there's no way we're even going to come close to maxing that out. We're going to need an SSD for our boot drive. You can pick a 2.5-inch SSD or an M.2 SSD, both are fine. We've got space for both, so it doesn't really matter either way. I got this 512GB NVMe SSD I got from eBay for about £30 a few months ago for a different project that I just didn't end up using. This will be more than enough for our boot drive and will also act as a storage place for some VMs later down the line, but again, just pick up any SSD you can find cheap, don't overthink it. Now, hard drive storage is going to be tough as there's no way we can afford new drives at this price range, so realistically we can just try to find the most reliable seller on eBay and try to find something that fits our budget. I found 3 of these 2TB SATA hard drives on eBay for a total of £40. At this price they're going to have a lot of power on hours, so just be aware that these cheap drives will probably break in the next 5 years, but this is just to get you started, so feel free to buy as much or as little storage as you need right now. These 3 drives will allow us to mess around with redundant settings as well as store a ton of Linux ISOs and personal media. When buying your drives, just make sure that they are SATA hard drives and not SAS. SAS is a whole different beast that we just aren't getting into for this build, but just know that they won't work without making more purchases, so let's just go with SATA for now. All we need to do is install an operating system and then get it going. There are a ton of options out there for this, but I'm going with Proxmox and then planning to run TrueNAS Scale as a VM. So what I've done so far is put the 3 hard drives into a ZFS1 array, which means we'll now get 4 terabytes of usable data, and if one of the drives fails, we can simply replace it with a new one, rebuild, and save all of our precious data. So that's great. I also installed and set up Jellyfin in a Docker container so I can watch any movies or TV shows that I've ripped from DVDs directly onto my server from any client. We can also create an SMB share over the network so I can access and store any files on the server from my computer so they can have some nice redundancy. You can host Pi-hole ad blocking services and attach it to your router, so every device in your home would be ad free. There really is an endless amount of things you can do with this home server. Now about expansions, how can we upgrade this computer in the future? Well, the first obvious one would be more hard drives. There are 6 SATA ports on the motherboard, so you can get up to 6 drives without doing anything, but if you want more than that, you'll need to get an expansion card. This adapter is cheap and adds a bunch of SATA ports where the NVMe slot would normally go, or you can get one that goes into one of the PCIe slots. Both of these would work great. The 5¼ bays can be expanded to add even more hard drives. You also have some room to put a graphics card in here if you really wanted to, so you can do some remote gaming from your server, or if you're sharing your Jellyfin server with your whole family and need more power to transcode a bunch of 4K streams. So we proved that for £300 you can build a really nice little home server that can do everything you need and still be upgradable. You don't need to keep a monitor on this guy at all, it just needs a power plug and an Ethernet cable and can hang out wherever you need it to. Thank you for watching, let me know in the comments down below what you want to see next. Peace out.